Why the NBA returning after COVID-19 can be a bad thing. Subscribe to the channel and comment down below saying I subscribe to enter this month's shoutout giveaway. Remember those heady days of like 3 weeks ago when we were all excited for the NBA to return to Disney World and give us those much needed dose of basketball we'd been craving? Yeah, that's gone all to hell. In the past week, the promise of the NBA season being played out under pandemic conditions in Orlando has turned into a complete and utter mess. And while there's currently no plans to alter the league's restart, there's not really a way to envision this going well. Things started to look bad as soon as testing results came out. The NBA's first round of testing took place on Friday and the results were not good. A total of 16 players out of 302 tested positive for COVID-19, representing 5.3% of the players set to play in Orlando.
Word today from the NBA on the coronavirus testing conducted on its players on Tuesday. 302 players tested, 16 positive tests.
This might seem like a small number, but it's not. It's just under half the total reported positive test rate by the CDC, which focuses primarily on people who displayed symptoms. In addition, the infection rate is roughly 5 times that of the country as a whole. This is likely a factor of blanket testing, but it shows that NBA players, even with their considerable resources, were unable to insulate themselves from COVID-19 infection. The test results also raised more ancillary problems. The New Orleans Pelicans, one of the most anticipated teams to watch because of Zion Williamson, announced that 3 of their players were among the positive tests in the league. This raised questions whether coach Alvin Gentry, who is 65 years old, would join the team in Florida due to health risk. Players started announcing they were pulling out. Over the weekend, DeAndre Jordan of the Brooklyn Nets announced that he'd tested positive for COVID-19 and as a result would not be traveling to Orlando. Wizards guard John Wall was a possibility to return from Achilles surgery, but the team announced that he wouldn't be playing either, citing a need to keep their bubble small in Florida and not wanting to risk a player coming off the inactive list. Then the Denver Nuggets, one of the best teams in the West prior to the suspension of play, were forced to close their training facility after 2 members of the organization tested positive as well. The team is now in limbo, waiting to determine when they can reopen their facility to be practiced based on testing results moving forward. Of course, Florida's a total mess in its own right. Looming over this whole situation is that Florida is basically a COVID-19 hellscape at this point. Cases are surging by the thousands, very little control is taking place, and what once seemed like a good location for the NBA to resume play is now one of the riskiest places in the country based on new and confirmed cases. Perhaps the worst part of all this was Stephen A. Smith getting giddy while discussing sex. More players test positive. Is likely expected with the return, some players are testing positive for COVID-19. Brooklyn Nets players DeAndre Jordan and Spencer Dinwiddie are 2 players who tested positive. Jordan made his positive test public on Twitter on Monday. Jordan will opt out of returning to Orlando. The Nets will need to find suitable replacements in time for the season. No players have seriously been sick, but players are still being cautious. NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski said players are worried about the long-term effects. Now, getting cases at the beginning isn't the biggest call of concern. MLB and the NHL are experiencing this problem as well. Trouble starts when cases pop up in the bubble, but to keep confidence in the bubble, there needs to be as little as possible around the bubble that could. Orlando, which is a COVID hotspot, has much more around the bubble that could pop it. Wojnarowski said that there's a long end to the season ahead to keep things running smoothly. Former NBA All-Star and NBA radio co-host Antonio Davis said that health will be a priority even for those who want to win. He added, for those who return, expect sloppier basketball at the beginning. The NBA is still set to start the season on July 30th at Disney World in Orlando. As a result, we are likely headed for NBA teams to arrive in Orlando in a matter of weeks. After that, the wheels will be in motion and every team will be ready to play basketball. The NBA is prepared for some players to test positive for COVID-19 when the season resumes. While they'll try to keep playing, that could all change given how bad the pandemic has become. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out on any of our future videos. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.